Mr. Giorgio Trabaldo. Giorgio, thank you for being here. So I want to kick it off with the first question. I want to dive right into it. How do you set a thriving culture inside of sales where everybody wants to work, everybody's growing, there's no ego, there's no politics? How do you set the right sales culture?
So I'm gonna break it down in an easy way, brother. You know me, I've been traveling the world, hitting the road, and I still do it, and I'm not planning to stop doing it. Why? First of all, because it's a game and I love it and I like it, and I think you cannot show what you don't possess in terms of passion. So like people feel the passion and they feel like they wanna be like you, not for the money you make, but for the life you bring into the table. Secondly, I love to show. Majority of people tell. They do the. I love these people always on Zoom, and they ask me, hey, how do you develop all these leaders with all this hunger? I'm like, so tell me where are you now? I'm at home. And how long do you travel? Oh look, I travel maybe 2 days a month, and I take a couple of flights a month. And I'm like, whoa, and how do you do, Giorgio? Look, I don't have a home. I live with my luggage. Why? Because I realized that people need to see and touch. People are like St. Thomas. They need to put the hand in the freaking thing of Jesus to believe. So you have two choices. The first one is to say, oh, when I find a believer, then he's gonna believe without touching. Yeah, but 95% of people are not believers. They need to see, they need to touch. So I better move my ass and decide I'm the one who's gonna show the way, show how to do it, and bring the real energy on the table. Because if you don't get close to people, they're not gonna do the things. Third point, it's very easy for me, but you really need to have the crucial conversations with people. So I built a culture, brother, of confrontation. I always tell people, if you're a good leader, an amazing leader, an extraordinary leader, you always confront quick. It means if you don't do something right, I'm gonna call you out right away. Because the moment you stop doing that, you're gonna start accumulating all these little mistaken behaviors through people, and then you stack them out, and then one day you're gonna be like, oh, I don't know how to fix this wrong direction, because 1% of the steering wheel moved today and you depart from Portugal, you're not gonna go to USA, you're gonna go to freaking Argentina.
Yes.
So I love to confront quick, so I stay on track, I meet people, I shake people's hands, I stay close to them, I bring them to my house. I mean, brother, I'm 9 years in the game, and still today I wanna sleep with people in my house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I rent an Airbnb, I let them close to me, and some people tell, oh, but I only bring, good, strong leaders in my house because they need to deserve it. I'm like, no, you don't understand the game. In this game of life, you need to bring the Chihuahua to your house to make him pitbull. I love making Chihuahuas pitbull. And what's the fastest way to do it? Getting them close to the freaking fire. So that's just the way I lead.
Yeah,
I mean, I
phenomenal.
get people close to me. That's all I do. Get people close to you guys.
Okay, so diving into the second question, how do you motivate? Okay, I want you to answer this. How do you motivate a sales team when they're doing decent to grow, and when your sales team's on a low and they're not selling, the economy's bad? What do you do to motivate your sales team, you being the leader, to increase growth inside of the sales team?
It always breaks down to what's the story you tell your team. So I'm a storyteller, I'm a story seller, and I'm a story creator. So some people follow some other people's stories. I'm gonna create mine so that people follow mine. So which one is my story? So look, bro, I'm gonna tell people that they're gonna have ups and downs. I'm gonna tell people that the real character shows up in the dip. I'm gonna tell people we're gonna have a dip, but we're still gonna win because everyone's gonna have a dip and we're gonna be different than them. So I'm already painting this picture, and that basically people don't realize that they never go in a dip because they're prepared to go in a dip. You know what I mean? I prepared them for the dip so that they are always on a tension phase. They're always like they're on the edge of walking on their toes because, oh man, that could be a dip, that could be a dip, that could be a dip. So I mean, I just pitch a good story, which is the real story of life. You can get in a dip from tomorrow if you don't wake up hitting the freaking road and being careful of every single detail. I always tell people, when people quit, they quit long before. When people leave the industry, when people stop making money, it's just an effect of a cause, and the cause you see today. So when I see someone doing something wrong today, I call them out straight away. So if you ask me, how do you motivate people when things are good or things are bad? Look, to me, it's very easy. I just tell them what to do, and I explain why. I don't complicate things. I tell them what to do, and I explain them why they should do it.
Why it's important.
And if they don't do it,
What's
the
gonna happen?
fear, which is much bigger than what they're gonna earn. So the fear versus earning. Everyone is gonna bring you, hey, if you do this, you're gonna get this. No, let me tell you, if you don't do this, this is what 100% you're gonna get. So you better wake up and be very careful and stay close to me and the pack of wolves who's leading the road.
Wow. Okay, phenomenal. Yeah, I like that you said you prepare people for a dip, because usually what happens is like most people stay in the dip because they get in a state called shock. So they never expect that it's going to happen. And shock can happen on a positive or a negative. Like you get in shock that you never thought you were going to be a millionaire. So then when you hit $1 million check, you're like, it's like the lottery. It kills people even when they make money. It's not just when you're at a low. The state of shock kills people. But if you knew it was supposed to happen, like if you knew you were supposed to have a bad day or somebody was supposed to break up with you, you don't get in a state of shock, so you can get to the solution a lot quicker. When you're in a state of shock, what happens is you think you're an anomaly, so you think you're the only person going through the problem. And the moment you think you have a special problem is the moment you can't solve the problem, because you think you're the only person going through the problem. The moment you don't think your problem is unique and it's very common, and you're not in a state of shock, because shock will bring you right to, oh, this is unique. I'm the only person that's going through this. You can't move to solution and be in uniqueness at the same time. The moment you're like, this is very fucking common, which most leaders think about inside of their head, they say, well, this is very common, 7 people left. Well, this is very common, people don't want to sell. You can get to the solution a lot quicker, right? So, okay, going in to the next question. You build a salesperson, right? You first of all, you build yourself as a salesperson. You make money for yourself. I believe true freedom, and I think this is the most important thing, and this is why you're so successful inside of your business. You've mastered this better than I've mastered this. Of course, I'm better than the majority of humans in life. I'm a salesperson. I make a lot of money. However, I can still be transactional for the rest of my life. And not just becoming a salesperson, just doing what I do. Like, if I'm a speaker, I want people to know this. I can make $5 million a year doing what I do. However, I can also have no freedom because I am the main vein of my business. Yes. So I now more than ever in the last couple of years started to understand that like money doesn't equal freedom, people equal freedom. Like people and systems equal freedom, because you can be a millionaire, but if you're tied to your business, you're still transactional, you don't have freedom. So how do you grow a salesperson, and then how do you duplicate that? Like what's your duplication secret for that salesperson, like a young Daniel G, to turn into a leader, to grow off there? Like what are some duplication secrets that you have to turn a salesperson into a leader, you know, and leaders create other leaders?
Yes. On one side, it's a numbers game, which means I know that a Daniel G, I'm gonna find 1 out of 100.
A salesperson though.
Yeah, a salesperson.
Okay.
Or a sales leader as well.
Okay.
But
how do you know it's gonna be a sales leader?
Because I have a lot of database. So I've been running this business for so long. I've been meeting so many people, so many individuals. So I know the behaviors, the traits.
So give me, because I don't have a database. My name's Carlo, and I just started growing a sales team. I don't have a database. What would it look like?
I would tell you, go through more people, give them assignments, see how they respond, grow, become better.
Okay, so wait. So wait, I want to slow this down. So you said the first one was response.
Yes.
So like give them assignments and see how they respond.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so why
people get into sales as employees, correct? So what do they want? You think they want freedom? No, they don't want freedom. They want assignments. Tell me what to do so I can make some money. So tell them what to do. People who are gonna do it, and people who are gonna anticipate your request. So they do things before you even ask, because you gave them the information in the system, they plugged in, boom, that's a big sign.
Okay, so behavior number 1, they respond to their assignments. Yes. Behavior number 2, which I love, proactiveness. Yes. Like they're very proactive individuals.
Yes.
So like I've noticed that like my best salespeople that turn into sales managers and leaders, they've always asked me, they've always brought an anticipating challenge. Hey, what more do you have?
Yes.
Do you have another assignment?
Yes.
Instead of finishing one, keeping it quiet, doing some side work, they come to you and say, okay, cool. What's a third behavior? Because one is responding through assignments. The other one is proactiveness. What's a third?
They listen, which means they hear and they do. They listen, which means they hear and they do. So they don't make you repeat the same thing twice. They're really, like, I have one talent, brother. You tell me something, I do it. If I respect you, you tell me once, I do it forever. Majority of people, you need to repeat them 4, 5, 6, 7 times or infinite times. So what I realized is that sales leaders, they're really curious and they want to stack the knowledge one upon the other. You know, they want to just stack these skills. So how do? They rob. They're good stealers. They steal quickly. They look. They observe. They realize. They have these aha moments. Oftentimes, I think people are so dumb today, which means they don't get aha moments. I'm getting aha moments 7 times a day.
Like a light bulb.
Yeah,
like
through freaking reel on Instagram. I'm looking for the next thing. I'm looking for the next thing. You know, I have this eagerness of like, I know there's something else out there. I see this in people, so they listen because they're listeners. You know, they don't get the whisper out. They're like, shit.
Yeah, they're very curious instead of being skeptical.
Yes.
Like most people are skeptical.
Yes.
They're cynics.
Yes.
Because there's a big difference between curiosity and skepticism. Like curiosity, you're kind of hunt for it for the benefit. Skepticism, you're trying to hunt for it for the negative. Right? So it's like I always say, like the big differentiator between somebody that can potentially be good inside of an organization is that they're curious for the answers and they're not skeptical to call you out on something. Because like your brain can only be at one point like, fuck this reel. Or it could be like, what's inside of this reel? Like you said, you're curious, right? It's like the cat in the bag. Like curiosity propels you towards the future. Like I don't think, because that's a good point that you brought up. So like I see curiosity too as well, because I wasn't passionate about sales, but I was curious. Like passionate, no, I wasn't passionate about sales. I was a soccer player and a DJ. But like curious, I was said, like I made $100 knocking on this door. Interesting. You know, I'm not, my friends are like, oh, it's a scam. I'm like, but how about if I did it like tomorrow again? And what's the top guy doing? And I was always just curious about it. And when I wasn't doing it in school, I went back to my curiosity. I didn't go back to my passion. Right? So it's proactiveness, it's listening, seeking to understand, not seeking to reply, right? Is basically what you're saying, like actively listening, not just seeking to fire off your next question.
And they're obsessed with work.
And they're obsessed with work.
Yeah, it's just a calling they have. They just want to get out there because they realize it's not about only listening, it's not about only reading, it's not about being coached. It's about doing the things that most people do want to do because you need to repeat, do the freaking boring things as much as you need to become excellent. So excellence is the thing. They just want to become excellent.
Got it. Last, I have another question now. As a leader, and this was like a bonus one that I'm going to hit you a curveball on. What is the most important thing? If you had to boil it down to like one thing to focus on as a leader, like one thing, you know, like when people ask me like, what's your number one advice? If you could give a salesperson some advice, I always say, make sure you know how to persuade yourself. Like, you know, that's always my number one advice. Me and Steve, we had a conversation about it today. I said, people that are bad at sales, they're just bad at selling themselves. If they can't sell themselves, they can't sell other people, right? You say the same thing. So, as a leader, what's like the main thing when you wake up with such a large organization, and you did it also as well when you're growing your organization? What's the most important thing, that one thing a leader should focus on, even if they're in their beginning stages? You can even say like what you said before, but what do you think the most important thing is as a leader?
I think it's to keep as a priority your priorities, which means waking up and know where your focus should go. What are the main 3 things that really move the needle? Because we can get trapped into all these things and teams calling us and people and they want our attention and everything is becoming a priority, urgent. But the real focus is not doing the things other people tell you to do or ask you to do. It's like, what should I really do to move the needle? Because as soon as the organization grows, you really realize that you got only 24 times and those 24 times are enough to really move all these big teams. So sitting down before taking your phone and being focused, being connected and say, okay, what are the main 3 things? Or even more, what's the number 1 thing? Because again, you always write 3, you write 10, but one thing moves 80% of the needle. So what's the number 1 thing? Yeah,
so you figure out what's the number 1 thing that has productiveness inside of your business. Not to stay busy as a leader.
And most of the times it's the thing you're scared the most. Most of the times it's the thing you're putting off the most. You know you should do, you know, maybe it's building that brand, it's getting out there to talk to important people, or maybe it's getting connected, or it's paying that money to go to that place. And you're like, yeah, but I'm busy. Because the best way entrepreneurs, bro, get robbed of these priorities is working. So, I'm busy. You know, look, I'm doing things, I'm still scaling, but I'm not really scaling to the level I should because I'm being busy and I'm deceiving myself telling me I'm busy. Because we can get busy quickly, correct?
Yes.
But we cannot move the needles quickly.
Correct. Yeah, I always boil it down. I think it's a good way to wrap it up. I say like, okay, the way I look at it is like this. The way I look at money is like this. Work is like the baseline. You can't cheat it. Like, you know, people say work hard, it's the truth. It doesn't make you rich, but it's like the baseline. You can't cheat work. Like, you got to be the workaholic. You can't cheat this. In the beginning stages especially. That's like the baseline. The second baseline is like, you can't be stupid in whatever you do. This is another baseline. Education is an equalizer. Still, if work was the answer, all our grandparents would leave us a shit ton of money. And if school was the answer, all of our parents would leave us a lot of money. But those are just equalizers. So I say the third thing is like, the focus of your work is what basically you just said. The focus of you solving problems as a business owner. This is like money exchanges from one hand to another hand when a problem is solved. This is what entrepreneurs don't realize when they get in. It's like, it's not how much work you do, then you're just a factory worker. If you're just trying to, I'm going to double shift. What time do you wake up? 4 a.m.? I wake up at 3 a.m.
You're an operator.
Yes, it doesn't matter if you get 4 extra hours on me. There's only 24 hours in a day. Now you're thinking stupid. Work is important, and we're saying this as workaholics. However, the thing that makes the money is the focus on the problems that you solve. $1 billion company versus $1 million company. $1 billion company solves bigger problems than the $1 million company, right? So it's like the focus of work. Most people, what I've realized, and I would say this is my number one trait, I can do more than 50 people in 30 minutes. This is my number one trait. Some days I work 2 hours. And when I work 2 hours, I smoke 90 people inside of work.
Yes.
If I write my book for an hour and 30 minutes, I am destroying it for an hour and 30 minutes.
Yes.
Every single concept's coming to my head. I'm the most focused ADHD person you can ever think of. When I'm writing the book, I'm not writing the book I'm thinking of every single problem that I'm going to solve inside of the book. It's super focused of my work. Anyways, bro, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, Dan.
And we'll put all of Giorgio's handles and everything inside of this course. Appreciate you guys.